Welcome to Shadow Daddy Groupies. I'm Rayven.
And I'm Kelly. And today we are going to talk about Juniper Unraveling by Carrie Lake, the fourth Carrie Lake book
It's
that we've
like
talked about on the podcast.
I like the sixth one, Raven's Red.
And like the sixth one. So Raven is now, I'm just going to call it a Carrie Lake fan.
I have read two other ones as well that we haven't touched base on.
What are the two other ones besides Eldritch?
Eldridge, and then there's another spicy one that I'll read. I don't remember what it's
Okay.
called. It didn't
Oh,
have an impact enough for me to. It
mm,
was Isle of Sin and Shadow.
okay.
Yeah, I think it's one of our newer ones. But anyways, today we are going to talk about
We're going to talk about Juniper Unraveling by Carrie Lake.
how is this book not talked about more on Book Talk or Instagram, because this book is so good. So good.
Okay, I basically read it in one day,
Same.
and it's not a short book. It's like 500 pages or something.
I couldn't put it
Um,
down.
but I think it's because, well, one, I think it has some of like your favorite tropes in it, and I really love zombies. I love zombies, and so as soon as like it's like the first 3 pages they start talking about zombies, I'm like, oh, I'm in.
You know
I
what? This
love
had
walking. I love The Walking Dead and like all that kind of stuff.
the twists in this book were so good. They had a lot of twists, and I was like,
She did a
whoa.
great job. Yeah, she did a great job layering. I think it's one of her favorite plot devices is to jump back in time. And so like have the current thing going on and then jumping back in time. The great thing and about this, well, let's do the summary first. I didn't write the summary. I'm just going to read the Goodreads summary. And I actually don't think it's that good, but I didn't have time to do my summary today. So
We're
this one,
excited.
Juniper Unraveling summary via Goodreads. Get ready for a heart-wrenching story of survival, love, and resilience set in a world of brutal inhumanity. Papa says everyone has a story that deserves to be told. Most begin years ago after the second bomb hit, unearthing a deadly contagion that divided the population into pure, the infected, and the ragers. That's important for the story. Many recount the moment we rose up from the ashes and started anew. Others tell the day we built a wall to keep them out. For some, there's nothing more than the vestiges left behind, a simple name carved into a knotty bark of a juniper tree. My story begins with a boy, a mute from the other side of the wall known as Six, who touched my heart in ways that words never could, and gave me the courage to face my darkest truth. Juniper Unraveling is a full length dystopian romance set in a post apocalyptic world. So I love some of my favorite tropes are dystopian, post apocalyptic. Love that. Love zombies. So I was all in from the beginning, but it is very well written.
My cheeks are getting hot.
Oh gosh,
It
okay.
touched her heart from the inside.
Okay,
Ooh.
Raven, tell me how much you love this book.
You know what? This is my first five of the year.
No.
First five of the year. I was so surprised. I don't even know how I like started reading this. I was like, oh, dystopian, Kelly like this. Let's read it. And I was like, oh shit, Kelly would like this.
Yeah, you suggested it and I was like, I love dystopian. Let's read it.
I read
And
that
then you
shit in a
started
day. I was,
reading you started reading it and you're like, this is really good. And I was like, "Oh,
this is
okay, I'm kind of
real.
in the middle of something else and
You did it.
then I started it last night because I was like, well, I should get started because this other one I'm reading is really, it's like 1,000 pages. And if I wait till I'm done with that, I'm never getting to this book on time. So I'm just going to take a pause and read this one. And I read it in like one night. It was so good.
It's so good.
It's
Okay,
so good.
six. Okay, so let's start from the beginning, Kelly.
Where are your trigger warnings?
Oh shit, that trigger warnings is everything.
Oh,
Everything. Sexual, from graping to pedophilia to murder to, come on, Kelly, spit some shit out.
torture, abuse,
Self-harm,
self-harm, I don't,
sexual,
zombies. I don't know.
The Walking Dead, gore.
Trigger warnings are your section. I don't know what they are.
Well, there you go. There you have it. All the trigger warnings. We'll just put that in there because I can't think of anything that it doesn't really have. So
Okay, so
it has
I think I
pregnancy
mentioned,
loss.
yeah, it does. So I don't know if I said this already, but one of Carrie Lake's favorite plot devices is like you have the now story and then you have the flashback story. And one of my favorite things about this was you didn't realize at first that the flashback story was a flashback
I
story.
thought they were
There's
gonna meet.
At first I thought, yeah, so you have Danny and you're like kind of looking at her story, and then you have Ren and you're looking at her story, and they kind of go back and forth, and they are existing in two places that like are right next to each other. You have like the prison, or I don't
It's like a
remember,
hospital
hospital
ward.
prison
Yeah.
thing, and then you have the town
A
that's like
testing
built,
facility.
the testing facility. Yeah, that's probably a better way to say it. And then you have the town that's blocked off by a wall, and they're both you kind of get the idea that, they're close to each other, but you're not sure at first. And then you're like, oh yeah, they're like right next to each
Mhm.
other outside of Las Vegas in this post-apocalyptic world. And then you find out kind of like, I don't know, maybe like a third of the way in the book that it's the same person, that Danny is Ren.
It
And
just the switch up is just it's too much
and
to
it's done
ex
really well, I think.
I think you need to read it to understand how it's layered and portrayed and the switch
Now,
up.
one of my favorite things about this book was the story of Ren, who's 17, 16, 17, and the and 6, who is a boy that is inside the facility.
Hmm.
He's 19, and their love story, because I really get the ick when writers write like a childhood romance that is too adult. And I I'm sorry, but there
What?
was an author where when these two children lost their virginity, they're like dirty talking and
Hmm.
doing anal like the first time. And I'm like, no, 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 no. That doesn't happen
You
like
don't try
that.
it all in the first
You don't
round.
try it all in the first round. And and I felt like the way that Carrie wrote their romance was very realistic, and it was very, I don't know, I just loved it. I
The
loved their
pacing was
little,
great. I could have even like chilled and like had more edging. Like I was fine with that. I was like, oh, oh, they're going. No. Oh, she got me there. Oh, oh, here we go. No. I kept waiting for her dad to catch him because
I
they
know,
were.
I was a little surprised at how the dad was like kind of seemingly okay with everything. Like he did try kind of to bring them apart, but then when you learn who she really is, it
It
makes a
makes
tiny bit more
sense.
sense why he wasn't that freaked out about it. He's like,
It
well, she's already been pregnant before, so meh.
and also he needed six, but to protect her. But also
Yeah.
he set her up.
He kind of set them up, but when you first learn about the setup, you're like, fuck you, dad. But then when you learn that he set him up to reunite with his family, then you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe he wasn't as big of an asshole.
Oh yeah, because he
Because
told
he
them where the
walkie-talkied,
walkie-talkie. Yeah.
yeah, he walkie-talkied his I don't know if he knew it was his family, but he walkie-talkied someone to come and save him from the Legion.
Walkie talking.
Walkie-talkied, that's a word.
I don't ever want to say that again. I get the cringe stick. Walkie talkie.
Leave me alone.
La, 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 la. Gross. And
Yeah,
do
no,
not
I
ever let
loved
me come on here with my eyebrows looking like this.
your eyebrows.
Look like shit. Sorry. You'll
Okay.
see him in the video.
All right. Well, I've walked in with really bad eyebrows too before, so I feel ya.
Uh,
No, I loved their
I'm
little
on
love
Zoom with Kelly.
story.
Bye.
I don't know what.
What? Someone called, so I had to tell them that it was on Zoom.
Oh, I really liked their love story. I don't know how I feel about their 8 years later getting back together love story.
That's so long.
Well, okay. I just didn't really believe that well, one, that it took them that long to figure out who each other were, or I felt like it took
Okay,
too long for her to figure it out.
yeah, I was like, girl, if
And I
you
feel like
know your man.
when she figured it out, I feel like it was a tiny bit anticlimactic. Like I thought there was going to be like this big explosion of like, oh my God, it's you. And there kind of was, but it just wasn't as satisfying as I wanted it to be. And
Okay,
he kept
bigger
like
explosions. Got it.
bigger explosions, more explosions. And then also like he just kind of kept trying to push her away. And I was like, no, I need you to like
I need you. I I need you to
and also the
lay
whole thing.
claim in the middle of everybody
Yeah,
right
like
there,
I want
right now.
walk into like a him sitting on like a throne of bones and they just like meet in the middle and smash. Like he leaps up and she runs to him. Like that's what I
Kelly
want.
needs them to smash sooner and more climactal.
More explosions.
Noted. It's gonna be a hard one to.
And also he's like, I want to put a baby in you right now. And I'm like, you just met 5 minutes ago.
Oh,
I mean, you
man,
just
you
like
know what?
reconnected 5 minutes ago. You want to put a baby in her already?
Like,
Give her a
okay,
break.
let me just say, Carrie Lake from Salt and Bones, when we talked about how it's like the detail and his ejaculation in the cave in the water. You just got to read it to know. Anyways, but her detail in that made me like I was almost felt what he felt. And then whenever she was in bed and he six went down yonder with his
Mm.
mouth, I was like, I feel it.
Yeah, no, her
Detailing is phenomenal.
yeah, she did a good job. My favorite scene was the shower scene where he washes her and she like washes him. And they're like, "Wait, is this allowed? Are we allowed to do this?"
Eh,
I thought it was so, I don't know. I really liked it. And then when she crawls under the bed with him and like he holds her hand and he's like smelling her, I was
my
like,
my
"Oh, that
favorite
hurt."
scene, I love the part where Lee or whatever, the redhead chick at the end, she was like, nobody ever sleeps in his room with him. And I was like, oh, yay. And then like when she was laying there on the floor, you notice he sleeps on the floor and not the bed because that's where he slept with her on the floor in her room and not the bed. And oh my God. Oh. And then like he moaned her name and I was like, "Oh my God, if you do not spoon the fuck out of this big ass man, so help me." I could picture him right there with his nice muscly back and his scars and it's twitching like they like to do for some reason. And then like him just run,
Men
run.
twitch in their sleep because
It's
never mind.
sometimes it's violent. I had an ex one time that was like shot up out of bed and like shot straight up, and I was like, this bitch is possessed. It was really scary. Yeah,
And
anyhow,
there's
but
definitely a yeah, when she tells him what Ivan did to her, and he's like, that man is dying, and he
she liked
killed him
it.
dead. He killed him dead very graphically.
She
Just
liked
ripped
it.
out his heart, made someone eat it.
Yeah, that was pretty
Pretty
manly.
intense. Yeah. And
What
he's
a
like, and
what a
she's like,
brute.
that was really fucked up, dude. And he's like, I told you I'm not the same boy. And it's not like he was a very like uh soft boy to begin with. He was pretty aggressive to begin with.
I was like, yeah, I mean,
Oh,
she's nice.
I know a scene that I've read and I was like, oh, Raven's gonna love this. When he gets really jealous and he like spreads his cum all over her to mark her.
He did it twice, and honestly, that's not my thing.
I was like, Raven's gonna love this.
Not my thing, not my thing, but I'm really a big fan of um nipple play.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
oh my God, like, ooh.
Yeah. No, he was obsessed with her breasts.
Not even
And
that, but like a lot of authors and books like it. But I mean, something about Carrie Lake's writing is just great when it comes to those
those little
details.
details. Yeah. No, I'm a fan for
I'm
sure.
paralyzed, and I felt all of it. Seriously.
Uh, I think, yeah, and she's like described as being very voluptuous in this book. So,
Is
yeah,
she?
it makes sense that he was obsessed with her boobs.
Is she? I didn't think so. I thought she was just.
No, she's described as being like very voluptuous or having like a lot of, it's mentioned several times.
I just thought she had big tits.
That's what I just said.
Oh, I thought I was thinking when you said voluptuous, I'm thinking of like curvy and
Oh, like hips too. No, I meant
because that's
boobs,
more,
but
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I guess yeah. No, I
more
meant boobs.
heavy chested.
Heavy chested. She's
That's
mentioned as being
better.
heavy chested.
I was like, did they say every
I mean,
character in my head is built like me, okay?
there's one you do have great boobs though.
But no, but I'm yes, but I mean like even if the character is described as voluptuous, they're built like me. Just like if he's blonde, no, he's not. He's brown. As is.
Well,
Cut and
yeah, no.
paste.
I mean, oh yeah, anyway. What's my point? Oh, there was one scene where a guy like makes a comment about having a great ass. So, I mean, apparently she also has a great ass, but
I think we all do. It's okay. I haven't read a book where they're like, and she's flat-assed or pancake booty or
well, I feel like there are a lot of books I read where the girls are like stick thin, and like, you know, especially if they're pretending to be boys, they're always like super thin. But yeah,
look, I
I don't
like
know.
just a handful of tit. Okay, that's enough. Just
You have more than a handful of tit, girl.
I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about for my characters, okay?
Oh,
That's
okay. All right.
enough.
Yeah.
Like
I
perfect
think this
little
is
melons. That
I
is
think this is
all.
a case of like you always want what you don't have, Like I'm sure girls that have no tits would love your tits. And you're like, "Oh, I wish they were smaller and only one handful instead of three."
Depends on whose hand.
Depends on whose hands.
I
I don't
liked
know.
I liked the
I
adolescent six. I was like, kind
I
of
know. It was
little.
they were I love it. Yeah, no.
He
Adolescent
was he was
6.
hot, and especially like in like when he started growing his hair out and he had like that buzz cut and the I pictured him so it was so hot and his light blue eyes and he was kind of thin but not too thin. He had like a swimmer's physique and he was really tan. Oh, when she mentioned bronze, she mentioned he was bronze, very bronze. A little later after you've already like met him And I was like, well, let's just throw some color on it now and rewind. It was, I don't know,
I'm
my
wondering if because she mentions it more towards the end of the book, um, like more specifically that the contagion, there was something like an alpha gene, and
hmm
that gene was like resistant to the prion unless activated. And they mentioned a indigenous community that were cannibals or something, and they think the alpha gene started in this specific indigenous community. And so I'm wondering if he was supposed to be native or indigenous the entire time, but I didn't really even get that thought until like towards the very end of the book when they mention that. Do you
but
remember that her mentioning that kind of towards
yes.
the end of the book?
Yeah, it's definitely towards the end of the book. But I was like, oh, okay. Because I guess they like overrun, and they like took over the town and killed and slain a bunch of people. Let's her brother. Oh my God, her brother.
Oh my
Her
God. That
brother.
was, I was like, "Ugh, why are you ripping out
Come
my heart so early
on.
in this book?"
Come on. I
Okay,
was
the
hoping
book
for
starts like
redemption.
super graphic, like killing her mom, killing her baby sister. She and her brother get taken away to this horrible facility where they just basically just torture, maim, sexually assault, kill all these, these children. And then her and her little tiny brother, who, okay, another pet peeve of mine is when authors write little kids like way too mature. They're like 3 or 5 and they're like quoting Shakespeare or shit. I hate that. And Carrie does such a good job of writing this little boy. He like has a lisp and he doesn't like can't say words right. And he's like wearing a diaper and he has his bunny and he like is a baby, right? And I feel like I fell in love with him and then he fucking dies. I was like, why are you ripping my heart out?
I biggest ick to me, one of my biggest icks, I have to, now that we're talking about one of your pet peeves, one of my biggest icks is songs.
Mm.
I skip over them. I'm like,
I skip over them too. But
I'm not gonna
I did
sing
think the
this in my head.
concept of her singing to Six was very sweet. I don't need the song. But the concept of her singing lullabies to Six while he's like smelling her and they're like holding hands and she's like, I'm going to protect you. I'm never going to let anyone hurt you ever again. While on the other hand, he is definitely the badass and protecting her from everything
I feel like he gave up too easily on
on
getting
her.
her. Yeah, like but he thought that she died, but
Yeah, so that was one of the other things is I thought for sure he was going to come back.
I was like,
And
that bitch is in the barn, girl, go.
yeah, I was like, I thought he was going to come back to her. And so I was like, okay, well, obviously they're going to get back together. Like, he can't be dead. Cannot. I won't allow
Oh,
it. But why didn't he come back to her? And then when he says that he was told that she was dead, that made way more sense to me.
oh,
But
when she
I thought for
rescued
sure
him.
that he would like come and just like raise hell and kill everyone for killing her, but he didn't. He just kind of was like, all right, well, here's my dad, here's my brother, and the love of my life is dead. I'm gonna just start a new life, more or less,
For 8 years.
for 8 years.
It was so cute when she rescued him though, and I was like, "Oh my God, he's coming up! He's gonna make it! He's gonna make it!" And I was like, "Run,
I
run!"
know when they get to the gate and you think for sure he's gonna escape.
No, I mean when she first finds him and rescues him
Oh.
from over the wall. I was like, "You guys better run! You better not get caught! So help me!"
Okay, you know what I loved about that scene is when he starts sniffing her hands and like sniffing her, and I was like, I don't know why this is so cute.
Something about in this book had a lot to do with smell, and I loved it.
Mm, mm.
Onomatopoeian.
No, not onomatopoeias. No onomatopoeias.
But it was so many like it was definitely a lot of I don't know, she really makes you feel what is happening in the books and the characters
Yeah,
and
I mean, well, I've said this, I do like her writing style. I like her descriptions. I like her pacing. Um, this is one of my more favorite male main characters, though he does become quite a bit of an asshole when he becomes an adult. She loves to write an asshole.
I
Her
love an
main,
asshole.
her main male characters are always such jerks. But yeah, I think this might be my favorite one so far that I've read of hers. And um,
I,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm really like,
I 5 stars. 5 stars.
I think I still haven't decided what I'm going to rate it, but I think I'm going to rate it somewhere between 4 and 5. Um, yeah, I do really like it.
Good
And
job.
I think I will start the next one. I don't know if I'm going to start it right away because I have like 3 Libby checkouts that I'm trying to get through right now. But
I think you should
yeah.
just read because you want to read it. Don't pressure yourself because you have.
Some of these Libby checkouts I've been waiting like 4 months for, girl. I I need to read my Libby checkouts. I only have 20 days, 21 days to read my Libby checkouts per checkout. So
In the meantime, I'm gonna read every single Carrie Lake book.
in the meantime,
So
she's gonna read every single KERI Lake book.
from here in the foreseeable future, every single one. You know what? She has a lot. She has a lot.
I know. Sometimes
I was
I think about
surprised.
like what would it be like a day in a life of an author? Because some of these authors really pump out books. They're releasing like 1 or 2 books a year. People like Emily Henry and Brandon Sanderson, like Carrie Lake has a really, I don't know how often she releases books. I haven't looked, but some of these authors are releasing like
There's
1 or 2 a year. And I'm like, what do
yeah.
you do? Do you like literally sit in front of your computer for 8 hours a day and just type? Like, ooh.
Somebody we just read recently was like that as well. Okay, hold on. We're gonna land this plane so I can stop this recording. Okay, bye.
Oh, read the book. We love it.
Love it. Bye.